Hello YouTube, welcome to the final episode of MUET Reading Comprehension Strategies webinar. So with me today, I have three final panelists and they are Diploma in English Communication students. We have Nisa. Hello Nisa.
My name is Nisa, and I am representing MUET PPI Reading on Facts and Opinion questions.
Okay, thank you. Our next panelist is Fatihah. Hello Fatihah.
Hello everyone, so my name is NURFATIHah MAHAT. I will be presenting on identifying main idea, conclusion, and making summarization type of questions.
Okay, thank you Fatihah. And finally, the gentleman of the group, ILLIYAS. Hello ILLIYAS.
Hello everyone, my name is ILLIYAS. I'm from BC 5B and I will be presenting on how to tackle, identify and answer the organization questions or ORG.
Okay, thank you very much ILLIYAS. Okay, without further ado, let's begin with our first presentation. Over to you, Nisa.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, as I said, today I will be presenting on how to answer facts and opinion question. So first of all, I want to teach you guys how to identify a facts and opinion question. So this is an example of a facts and opinion question that I have chosen. As you can see, usually a fact and opinion question have a set of answers that need you to check it with the passage that have been given. As it said here, the following incidents show the special relationship between Tunku Abdul Rahman and Tan Chen Lock accept. Accept is the special keyword that will make you know that it is an FO question, because FO question usually will have you to check the answers in the text. All of the answer will usually be in the text, so you don't have to think it out. You just have to scan the text. As you can see here, the set of as you can see here, all of the answer only one of it is correct, which you have to check with the passage which of it is the opinion, and the rest is the facts. So now that you have know how to identify an FO question, I will now teach you how to answer the question. Okay, give me a second to move to the next slide. This is the slide that I have created on my own on how to answer a facts and opinion question. So first thing first, when answering a question, step one, you have to read the questions carefully. This is because you have to understand what the question wants. So once you have read the question carefully and understand, you can move on to the step two, which is highlight the important keywords in the question and the answer options. Why you have to highlight the important keywords is because you have to know what the question wants. So you have to highlight it. So every time when you, because when you want to check it back, you will know what the question wants. And why you also have to highlight the answer option, because usually in FO question, the answer option will be long. So you have to highlight the important keywords to to reduce the time you use in reading the answers. So another guide in this step, you have to look up for special keywords such as accept, true, or list of answer option. List of answer option is what I mean by this. Down here on the screenshot on below is the list of answer option in the Roman number. When you have identified the special keywords such as a set, true, or list of answer option, you will know what the question opt you to do. Then you can move to the step 3 is scan the text and match the keywords with the answer option. What I mean by scan is you have to read the text quickly in order to find a specific info, which is you don't have to spend a lot of time in reading it. You just briefly scanning it through the text, so you could find, you could check each keywords you have highlighted with the text. A tips for this step, you have to look for synonyms or sentences with similar meaning in the text. It's because usually in the answer given, it will not be exactly the same as in the text. So you have to understand the meaning and also look up for the synonym in the text. So you will find the exact answer. And then moving on to the step 4, you need to cross out the answer that you found inconsistent. So when you have scanned the text and look for the synonyms, you will find out the inconsistent answer with the text. So what you need to do with this inconsistent answer, you have to cross it out, because when you cross it out, you will eliminate the definitely wrong answers, and finally you will be left with one exact answer that would maybe be the answer. But then when you are moving to step 5, it's not you don't have yet to circle the correct answer. First thing first you have to do is recheck your answer first, because you have to take safety measures, because you may overlook on some info in the passage. After you have rechecked your answer and you are sure that it is a definite answer, then you can finally move on to the last step, which is circle the correct answer. And then after I have followed all of these steps, I am sure you could successfully answer facts and opinion question. So now I will repeat back. Step 1, you have to read the questions carefully, understand it. And then step 2, highlight important keywords in the question and answer option to make sure you know what the question really wants. And then move on to the step 3, scan the text and match the keywords with the answer option. Just do it, the scan briefly to find the information you want. And then step 4, cross out the answer that you found inconsistent to make it clear which one of which one of the answer option is the best. And then step 5, recheck your answer, which is a crucial step you need to do before circling the correct answer. Okay, now that I have shared with you my steps in answering facts and opinion, I will show you a demonstration on how to answer it. So give me a second, let me change the slide. Okay. This is the slide that I have chosen. This is the question that I have chosen. Okay. Just like the step I have shared with you just now, the first thing first I do is read the question carefully. The following statements about the sex-changing fish are correct, except A, hormones trigger the biological changes. B, the behavior of a fish will change in the process. C, reproductive organs that do not exist will begin to grow. Now I already have a gist of what the question wants. So for more easier understanding, I will highlight the important keywords in this question. And also, don't forget to highlight the answer option. So here, let's change the fish, correct and accept is the important keywords in the question. Now moving on to the answer option. Hormones, biological changes, behavior of a fish will change. And lastly, C, reproductive organs, disease, grow. Now that you have highlighted the important keywords in the answer and also the question, you can move on to the next step, which is match the keywords with the answer option. So first of all, we will check the answer option A. Hormones trigger the biological changes. So hormones and biological changes. Let's check the text. So this is the text. As you can see here. So what causes the change? The answer is hormones. As a fish matures, hormones are released. These are chemical signals that travel through the blood to the rest of the fish body. They stimulate the fish reproductive organs to change. So, as you can see here, so what caused the change? The answer is hormones is have a similar meaning with A. Hormones trigger the biological changes. So, which means that sex-changing fish does have biological changes due to hormones, which means that this answer A is wrong. So, what you're going to do? What you're going to do with the answer is, wait a minute. Okay, you have to cross it out, like I said just now, which means this answer is wrong. And then moving on to B, the behavior of a fish will change in the process. Behavior of a fish will change. So let's see the text again. Okay, it says here, if the fish is to become a female, then the reproductive organs produce eggs, as well as other hormones that cause the fish to behave, look, and function as a female. As you can see here, it says that cause the fish to behave, look, and function as a female, which is consistent with the answer. You can see the behavior of a fish will change in the process. So behave holds the similar meaning as the answer, which means that the answer B is wrong. So you have to cross it out. And as for C, that this is the last option, then it is may be the answer. As C is not mentioned in the text, it may be true. So now what you have to do next is recheck A and B in the text. And then when you are sure the answer is C, then you can finally circle the answer. And truthfully, the answer is C. So I hope that you can understand how to answer FO question, and you can now use it in your future MUET examination. Therefore, I hope that you learn something today from me. Thank you. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Nisa. Let's proceed to our next presenter. Okay, over to you, Fatihah. Fatihah?
Hello, everyone. So today I will explain on how to identify some type of questions and on how to answer the technique that we can use in order to answer this type of questions. So before we start with the SOP, we need to identify the type of the questions. So I will start to share my screen. So this is one of the type of me-consum type of questions, which is main idea. So me-consum type of question has a directly stated questions where you can find that, for example, in these questions, the main idea of paragraph 2 is, so from here we can clearly find that the question state for the questions ask for the main idea of a specific paragraph. So this is why it is a directly stated type of questions. Same goes to the conclusion type of questions. For example, from the article we can conclude that Facebook. So we can see here that. We can see here that it is directly stated that we need to find the conclusion of the text on a topic about Facebook. So I think that to identify me-consum type of questions is easy because it is directly stated, and we can easily understand the type. We can easily understand the questions. So for summary, it also directly stated, for example, like give a summarization of the text, or what is the summarization of the paragraph. So basically, what I can say is that most of the questions in this type of questions is directly stated. So now we are moving on to the SOP of on how to answer main idea, conclusion, and summary. So first, we need to read the questions carefully. So make sure that you understand exactly what you have to do and don't rush when you are reading the questions. So from here, by reading the questions carefully, you might not lose any important keywords. And so we can proceed to the step 2, which is to highlight the important keywords. So the important keywords that we can see here is that main idea and also paragraph 2. So from here, we need to bear in mind, after we have highlighted, that we need to search for the main idea of the specific paragraph, which is paragraph 2 and not another paragraph. So for the step 3, you need to look out for special keywords to understand the questions. So the special keywords are main idea, conclusion, and also summary. So for each special keyword, we have the technique that we can use. So for example, main idea. So main idea is the point of the paragraph. It is the most important thought about the topic. So the technique that we can use in order to answer this type of question is to skim and scan the text or the specific paragraph to find the topic sentence that can be in the first or the last line. And then for conclusion, conclusion is the last part of something, or it's end of the result for the paragraph or passage. So the technique that we can use is to read the last few lines of paragraph to get the gist of the text. And the last one is summary. So for summary is an overview of the content that provides a reader with an overarching theme but does not expand on specific details. So the technique that you can use is to read the thesis statement and figure out the main idea of each paragraph. So you need to eliminate the choices that is not related with the topic sentence. And the most important step is to skim and scan the text for the answer, because this type of questions, you need to read overall of the text and not the specific text only, except for main idea if it state the specific paragraph in the questions. So one tip is that the answer may not be in the passage, and you need to use your understanding in order to choose the possible answer. So for me, on some type of questions, the answer may not be in the passage, is in the passage and paragraph, but it's not directly stated. Maybe some of the answer will use the contextual clues. So you need to look out for the contextual clues in order to answer this type of questions. And step 5, you need to circle the correct answer. Okay, after you have skim and scan, you get the gist of the answer. You are confident, so you can circle the correct answer. But for step 6, you need to remember that you need to recheck your answers again so that you won't make any mistakes while answering it. So I'm done with my SOP. So I will demonstrate on how to answer this type of questions for main idea. So the first one is main idea type of questions. So I took practice 23 from MUET exercise books. So first we need to read the answer carefully. We need to read the questions carefully. So the main idea of paragraph 2 is, and after that we need to move on to step 2, which is highlighting. So we need to highlight main idea and also paragraph 2. So from here, you need to bear in mind that you need to only look for the main idea of paragraph 2 and not the another paragraph in the passage. So main idea, we need to look up at the special keywords, which is main idea. So main idea, the technique that we can use is to read the specific paragraph, find the first or last line to find the topic sentence. So this is the paragraph. Let's read the paragraph together. So men who are at least 6 foot tall make an average salary of $5,500 and $5,500 US dollar more than their shorter 5-inch counterparts, says Harvard University. So you need to highlight this, and you need to bear in mind that the first sentence is mentioning about height or tall. So we need to continue, which is another study took a poll of the CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and on average, it was found that male CEOs were 3 inches taller than the average man at just under 6 feet. So this is the supporting details. So we need to proceed on reading. Okay, so here we can see that women were no exception either. So it say that men and women who is more taller than the average employers will earn 5 to 8% more money than the women of average height. So let's take a look at the questions. So let's match the point that we found in the passage into the answer option. So taller men and taller women tend to enjoy better career advancement. B, men need to be taller than women in order to enjoy better career advancement. And C, both men and women need to be 3 inches taller than the average male or female in order to enjoy their better career advancement. So the answer is A, because in the passage, it mentioned that taller men and taller women tend to enjoy better career advancement. And this we can find this at the first and also the last sentence, which is it obviously focusing on the height of the employees. So we are done with the first questions. Moving on to the next questions, which is the conclusion type of questions. So you can find this exercise in model test 2 from MUET exercise book. So the questions is, from the article, we can conclude that Facebook, so we need to highlight the important keywords. The important keywords is article, conclude, and Facebook. So for conclude, we need to read the last of few lines of each paragraph to get the gist. So we need to take a look at the passage. So from here, we need to read a few last lines in order to get the gist. So like this, Facebook is a free access social networking website and generates revenue from advertising, including banner ads. And after that, we need to use a skim and scan process too. So we can find here that Facebook profile consists of a number of different sections, including information, status, friends in other networks, photos, notes, groups, and wall. And after that, Facebook Notes was introduced on 22nd August 2006, a blogging feature that allowed text, embeddable image, and the importance of blogs. And after that, we can find that on 6 September 2006, newsfeed was announced, which appears on every user's homepage and highlights information, including profile changes, upcoming events, birthdays of the user's friend. And for the fourth paragraph, we can see that another feature of the Photos application is the ability to tag or label users in a photo. So for the last paragraph, we can found that Facebook launched GIF on 8 February 2007, which allows users to send virtual GIF to their friends. And on 20 July 2008, Facebook introduced a new feature, which is Facebook Beta. And lastly, that we can find here that Facebook migrated all users to the new version in September 2008. So back to the questions. The conclusion of Facebook is that the answer is C. The answer is C. Facebook is constantly adding new features and applications to attract more users to its sites, because after we have skim and scan, look at every paragraph, every last of few lines of the paragraph, we can find that in every paragraph it mentioned that Facebook will add a new feature on every year in order to give a best service for the consumers or the users itself. So I think that's all from me for some type of questions. I hope that what I have shared in this session will help you guys to answer these questions. And don't forget to practice and share these tips if it's useful with your friends. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Fatihah. And let's go to our final presenter for today. We have Ilyas with us. Hello, Ilyas.
Hello everyone, my name is ILLIYAS and I will be presenting how to tackle the ORG or organization question. So let's get right into it, okay? So I'm gonna show my SOP. So here is my SOP. So as you can see, this is this is for first step. First step, you need to read the questions carefully, and basically you don't want to read the question only once. Maybe you can do it twice or thrice, 2 times or 3 times, just to read the questions carefully. So for the step 2, you need to highlight the important to step 3. Step 3, you need to skim the text to determine how the author arranged the idea into the text itself. Fourth is, based on your understanding, after skimming the text, based on your understanding, determine the most possible answer in the options. Also, after that, you must repeat the steps to recheck back your answer, and finally the last step would be circle the possible answer. So how to identify the ORG question? Basically, the question itself is asking about the paragraph. So basically, it relates on the paragraph. So here are two example of ORG question. Basically, as you can see, the question is talking about the paragraph itself. The extract has most likely been taken from any sources. So basically, it's asking about the paragraph, the text itself. So here is another example of ORG question, but I'm gonna put that way. I'm not gonna use that questions for today. So for today, I'm gonna use these questions that I've taken from MUET exercise book. So okay, so let's analyze this question real quick. Okay, so as you can see, going back to our SOP, so the first step is to read the questions carefully. So the writer, the question says that the writer ends the passage with the other, the
Okay, Ilyas, we cannot hear you. It seems that we are breaking up.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So, sorry for the interruption. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay, back to the questions. Okay, back to the questions. So for step 2, you need to highlight the important keywords to understand the question. So for this case, for these questions, the keyword would be the writer. The keyword will be the writer ends the passage with. The keyword will be writer ends passage and with. So going back into our SOP, for the step 3, it says to skim the text to determine how the author arranged the idea in text. So this means that we need to go to the passage itself. So here is the last paragraph of the text that I've got. So so let's start from here. The institutions too can lodge a complaint with Facebook against any confession page using the institution's name and have it removed. Oops, sorry. So for the fourth step, based on your understanding, determine the most possible answer in the option. So going back to the questions, there are 3 available options to choose, which is a call for action, a note of caution, and a strong criticism. So if we look back on the passage itself, instead, if we look back and reread back the passage, the last sentence, institutions too can lodge a complaint with Facebook against any confession page using the institution's name and have it removed. So we can see that the passage itself, the type of word that it uses, it does not talking about a call for action or a call of action. So we can cross that out. And also the sentence, the way the sentence look, it also doesn't say or show anything about criticism. The sentences itself is not about criticism, so we can cross that out. And we are left by a note of caution. So I'm going to reread the sentence again. Institutions too can lodge a complaint with Facebook against any confession page using the institution's name and have it removed. So as we can see here, the writer is trying to explain that an institution can lodge or file a complaint with Facebook against any other page that illegally using the institution's name and have it removed. So based on how the sentences look, the most possible answer would be a note of caution, because the writer is trying to give a caution for those who illegally using the institution's name, and the writer is telling them that it can be removed. So yeah, step by. So this the final step of my SOP would be circle the possible answer for the question. So as I have said earlier, the writer is trying to caution. The writer is trying to give us, trying to tell us that we cannot illegally use an institution's name. So that means the writer is giving a note of caution for us. And I think that's it for my ORG SOP.
Okay. So thank you very much, Ilyas, and thank you to all the presenters for your insightful explanation on how to tackle your respective questions. And thank you to you for joining us. This is our final episode. So I hope you have learned a lot of techniques and tips on how to answer your MUET reading examination. So from all of us here at the Diploma in English Communication program, we wish you all the best for your reading exam. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.